Democratic Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island is joining us. He's the ranking member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. Senator, thanks very much for joining us. First of all, let me get your reaction to this report that maybe this top ISIS leader may have been killed in a U.S. airstrike. What, if anything, can you tell us about that?
Well, it's consistent with our strategy. The strategy is multifaceted. The one part of it is to identify and take out the ISIS leaders. That is to disrupt their command, their chain of command, their ability to operate. And the second is to use local forces on the ground to begin to continue to recapture territory, to squeeze ISIS. So those are two aspects of the campaign. It's not surprising that the U.S. forces would develop the intelligence and then act on the intelligence. And now, as Barbara points out, they're trying to evaluate if, in fact, they were successful in taking out the ISIS leader.
And I take it you have no problem with President Obama's continued authorization, no let-up on his part in what they call these targeted assassinations of these terrorists.
Well, we are committed to destroying ISIS, helping our allies in Iraq, trying to create and generate forces in Syria with the goal and purpose of destroying ISIS, and taking out their leadership as part of that effort. This is a ruthless group of terrorists that have shown no mercy to anyone, particularly the Muslim communities that they've been involved with, and our effort is to destroy this organization.
You heard General Austin, the head of the U.S. Military Central Command, say more U.S. troops may be needed both in Iraq and Syria. Your reaction?
Well, I think what General Austin was talking about was increasing some of the capacities that we already have in Iraq first. And one example of that is the effort to recapture successfully Ramadi, where the fighting was done by Iraqi security forces, their counterterrorism section, supported by American air power. We provided intelligence, we provided training before they went into the battle. There's some question of whether we could move those training elements down from sort of the installation to the brigade-size units, not involved in active combat, but moving the training down closer to the combat. In Syria, I asked him specifically about our train and equip mission, and his comments are that they're revising the train and equip. It would involve Syrians, both of Kurdish background and of Arab background, but essentially I don't think he was talking about a significant commitment of American ground forces at all. We have some special operators in the region. We'll continue to have those special operators.
Senator, you and I went to Iraq back in 2005 with the then head of the Military Central Command, General Abizaid. Here's some video of that visit. We went to Fallujah, we went to Mosul. If someone would have told you or me then, back in 2005, that a decade later, Mosul, Fallujah would be under ISIS control, I wouldn't have believed it, you wouldn't have believed it, but it looks like it's such a mess right now with no end in sight.
Well, in 2005 and 2006, it was complicated and dangerous also, but there was, I think, a process underway to begin to assist the Iraqi forces to train, to go ahead and to develop their capabilities, and ultimately, I think the hope, if not the expectation, was that they could do that. I think what we saw over the last several years, particularly before Prime Minister al-Abadi took over under Prime Minister Maliki, a specific deterioration of the Iraqi military. A lot of it because of the political program of Prime Minister Maliki, of distrusting any Sunni involvement, of distrusting any sort of professional military leadership as a threat to his personal command. And those steps, I think, caused a significant reversal and allowed for, at least gave an opening to the rise of ISIS. And now we're back engaged, and we have to be effective and continue to pursue this enemy.
Yep. Senator Reed, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.